Lesson 2, topic, solving two-step equations. Learning target, I can solve two-step equations by isolating the variable. Reminder of our key terms and definitions. We talked about these last lesson, but we want to refresh our memory. Variable is a letter that represents an unknown value. Isolate, to get by itself. So that's our goal, is to get the variable by itself. So the variable can have no friends. We want it to be just x equals and then a number. Inverse operations, remember, are opposite operations. So addition and subtraction are inverses, and then multiplication and division are inverses. Reminder, 3x, so a number next to a variable means we are multiplying. So you can read this as 3x or 3 times x. Sometimes we can put the little dot in the middle just to remind us that we are multiplying. X over 3, that fraction bar means to divide, division. So we can read that as x over 3 or x divided by 3. Either one is an appropriate way of speaking that symbol. So steps to solving equations. We talked about this last time, and now since we're doing 2 steps, we are going to need to use both. We're going to have to start with undoing addition and subtraction, and then we're going to undo multiplication and division. So our first step is always draw that railroad track. Separate the 2 sides of our equation. Find where that variable is. Here's our variable. It's next to a 5. So our goal is to get that x all by itself. We don't want to lose sight of that goal. Now the first thing we want to do is undo addition or subtraction. So we have to ask ourselves, do we have addition or subtraction? And the answer would be subtraction. We have minus 7. What's the opposite of minus 7? The opposite is plus 7. So I'm going to add 7 to undo that minus 7. But if I add 7 on the left side, I have to add 7 on the right. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0, leaving us with 5x on the left side, and 58 plus 7 is 65. So if we do that operation, we get 65. Now if we look right here, we have 5x, meaning our x is not by itself yet because there's still this 5. Number next to a letter means we're multiplying. So we need to undo that multiplication. That's our next step. Undo multiplication with its opposite, which is division. So to undo that times 5, we're going to divide by 5. If we divide by 5 on the left, we have to divide by 5 on the right. 5 divided by 5 cancels out, leaving us with just that x. So we have x equals, then 65 divided by 5 is 13. So our final answer is x equals 13. Next example, we have x over 3. Remember, that means x divided by 3. Minus 4 equals 6. So draw a line where your equal sign is. And we're going to go back up to our steps. So first step is undo addition and subtraction. So we have to look, do we have addition or do we have subtraction? Well, we have minus 4. Undo that minus 4 with the opposite, which is plus 4 on both sides. Remember, whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side. Got to keep the balance. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0, leaving us with this piece, x over 3 equals, what is 6 plus 4? 6 plus 4 is 10. Now, if we look, our variable is not all by itself yet. We still have a friend. It's got this divided by 3, which leads us to step 2, which is undo multiplication and division. We have division, so to undo that divided by 3, we're going to multiply by 3. If we multiply the left by 3, we're going to multiply the right by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We get x equals 10 times 3 is 30. Now our variable is all by itself, so that is our final answer. Last example here, we have negative 2x plus 4 equals negative 16. Draw that line where our equal sign is, and then go back up to our steps. We have the first step, undo addition and subtraction. So do we have addition or do we have subtraction? I see this plus 4 right here, so I have addition, which means I'm going to undo it with the opposite, which is minus 4. If I do minus 4 on the left, I'm going to do minus 4 on the right. So 4 minus 4 is 0, leaving me with negative 2x equals negative 16 minus 4. Now remember, they're both negative, so we're going to add the numbers 20 and keep the sign negative. If we're still struggling with our integer operations, you are able to use a calculator, not a problem. So now we have negative 2x, remember that means negative 2 times x equals negative 20. So we're on step 2, undo multiplication and division. We have multiplication, which means we need to divide. So I'm going to divide. I'm multiplying by negative 2, which means I need to divide by negative 2. I don't change the sign on this one. If I divide by negative 2 on the left, I divide by negative 2 on the right. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 cancels out, leaving us with x equals, what's negative 20 divided by negative 2? It's going to be a positive 10. And again, if you'd like to use a calculator for that operation to check it, you are more than welcome to do that. That's all the notes for today. Go ahead and move on into your practice.